Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the official ARK Podcast number 43. My name's Brad, and I'm here with the core team. Your host tonight, as always, our dedicated leader, Atlas. The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, Brad. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's podcast. My name is Atlas. This is ARK Podcast number 43. We got some fantastic, really important updates for you guys. I mentioned yesterday in the podcast that Mr. Green will be flying in from Switzerland over here to the Canary Islands. He's going to be here live for the launch of the whole system, which is very, very important to us. With that in consideration, he's arriving 2 p.m. UTC on Thursday, and that's just 3 hours before before the actual launch of everything. If there is any change of plans, delay in flights, we don't want to risk it. So what we're going to do, it also give us a little more time to make sure that everything is working absolutely perfect, is to go ahead and launch on December 16th, 12 p.m. EST, 5 p.m. UTC. So that gives us an extra 24 hours. And really, really exciting day. So Friday will be the day, ladies and gentlemen, that ARK will sail. So guys, let's get this crypto on that one. Another great update for those of you folks that didn't know, today we had a podcast, actually really an AMA live on YouTube with Mr. James Pelton. He has a huge community of investors in DeFi, and a lot of them, really have been in the ROI space for some time. I believe it's 50,000 followers over in YouTube. It was a great conversation we had there. Obviously, the gentleman did his homework. He asked the right questions. And I got to hand it over to him and his manager, Tycho, and the whole team. They were very professional in the whole setup. The process was very, let's just say, very seamless, frictionless, and overall, just very professional. So, we deal with a lot of these folks that do, AMAs, and I got to say, man, they should definitely take a note out of how James Pelton runs his business. So with that, we also want to remind everyone that the NFT deposit has been closed. We extended it to give folks more time to go ahead and do those NFT deposits if they hadn't gotten to it, as well as update or change their referral. That was closed on Monday morning, UTC. And unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, there are no changes. We cannot go back and, make any type of referrals. Everything's going to go through the back end here. And if you didn't deposit your NFT, what will happen is that we will deposit them for all of those investors. So no one's getting left behind. No one's losing their value. Everyone's going to receive their equivalent of ARK according to which round they joined and purchased the NFTs with. However, there will be no manual changes. And the main reason for that, guys, is the reason we extended it in the first place. It's a lot of manual labor. And right now we have all hands on deck to make sure that everything goes very, very smooth for the launch. So, if there's anybody out there, you didn't deposit, do not worry. You will be credited. We will do it for you. But do not contact us or expect any sort of changes, as they will, unfortunately, not be available. We also have the YouTube contest and also the Medium contest with $1,900 BUSD sitting there waiting to be taken. So guys, keep submitting your videos, your Medium articles, use the Google Sheet, the form, to make sure that we are accounting for that video or Medium article and that you're going to be in the contest. So thank you. Mr. Brett Norton, do you have anything that you would like to add as far as the updates or information as we get closer to launch?
Just a note on the bond presale. I know we're going to be pausing that probably within a few hours is my guess, to give Mr. Green time to switch over to the live foundation contract, I should say, when we go live with the ARK Vault. So just a heads up, if you are planning on getting into the bond presale, it's better to do it sooner than wait till the last minute before launch on Friday. So if you can possibly get it done before the end of the day on Thursday, that would be safe. Just a heads up on that. We will be pushing out an announcement here shortly on the go live for the ARK Vault on Friday, December 16th. I captured those times atlas, so we'll push those out to the various groups. And that's about it. I think, let me think if there's anything else to capture. No, I think if I have anything else, I will let you know shortly, but I think you covered all the other aspects. Thank you.
Thank you, Brett. And fantastic job you did there on the James Pelton AMA. Yeah.
Oh, you as well. You rocked it. Thank you.
All right, man. We're how is it that Brad says it about the WWF? What is it that you told me today, Brad? That was funny.
Yeah, I can't take credit for it because it wasn't me that said it, and I can't quite remember who it was. But I remember somebody saying recently that if you and Brett were in the WWE, you would be the tag team champions.
Go. That's awesome. Well, look, let's open it up to some questions or comments. We'd love to hear from all of the investors here in our community. Please feel free to mute your mic and come ask a question.
Just a quick hitter here. The airdrop function, will that allow us to airdrop any wallet or only team members?
Brett, you want to take that?
Yeah, you could manually enter a single wallet as well. In addition to running a campaign similar to like you do on Drip, where you do a filter and then it'll produce the wallets that are in your downline that you can airdrop to, or you can manually enter a single wallet as well and do an airdrop directly.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hey, Brett, I've been getting some questions in the chat about automation. Are things going to be auto compounding? How does that look when you're, developing your strategy? If you're on a, one strategy or what? Can you kind of go into more detail on how that's going to work out and what options that an investor will have to do it manually, or what all will be automated for them if they choose?
Yeah, so obviously you can manually do whatever you want to do, but then we'll have the auto allocation feature live when the vault goes live on Friday. And you'll have to put in your gas just, to make sure that it continues to run. And then we'll have the option of selecting various CWR schedules. So we have the basic default. So if you don't have a legacy NFT, you'll have 1.0 and 1.33. And then there's two options for silver and gold. And then there's one option for the platinum. And just off the top of my head, I don't remember the exact ratios. But basically it's the table that's in the pump and dump throttling section of the white paper, that table that you're familiar with. So it's based on the daily, the 14-day daily rolling average compound and withdrawal schedules that are in that table that are in there. And so, yeah, you'll be able to select. Obviously, it's not, like a manual CWR number that you can enter. You have to select the schedules that are there. And then once you select that CWR schedule, then that's fixed and running. You'd be able to stop it and then reset the CWR. And then obviously it'll run until you no longer have funds or gas to continue that schedule. And then you'd have to add more BNB to reset it up and have it continue running for a fixed period of time. So yeah, it should be pretty simple. You're not going to be able to set an airdrop schedule out of that. It's just either compound and withdraw. So if you have a team wallet, you're going to want to manually take control of that wallet. Obviously, you could run the compound and withdraw automatically if you wanted to for a period of time. and then, choose to airdrop some tokens over to your airdrop tool, and then airdrop from there, and then continue on an automated schedule if that's the way you want to run it. But the auto allocation feature, I think, will be pretty straightforward once you see it. It's been pretty simple. But yeah, there's not much to. We didn't want to overcomplicate it, and just make it simple and have some fixed schedules that most people will follow, whether they have an NFT or they don't.
So the investor, if they want to do it manually, they're not going to be able to go in and just create their own schedule, or can they, or is everything's going to be set in? I mean, I know they can do it manually or automated, but can they create their own schedule if they want to do, I don't know, just any type of a combination?
Well, manual's manual. So manual's full control. I guess they can do whatever they want. So if they want to, have a calendar alert or something and follow their own schedule and track on a spreadsheet or something like that, but we're not going to tell them what to do if they're doing manual. The system won't, adjust for them or do anything like that. They'll have to figure that out on their own.
But the system is set up, for the compound withdrawal ratio. So they have to stay within that ratio, obviously. So they can't just go and just decide to do, whatever. I mean, they have to stay within a certain schedule accordance to the, to their compound withdrawal ratio.
Yeah, if they get close to limits, then it'll alert them that they're getting close to limits. But they need to know what they're doing. So if they're on a 4-3 schedule every week, then they should stick to the 4-3 schedule, or they can set their percentages to follow the a 1.33 CWR.
That's what because if you do like a 4-3 1 week and the next week you want to do something different, I'm just trying to figure out if that would mess up your strategy, or how that would kind of mess things up or affect the compound withdrawal ratio or anything.
It won't mess anything up. It's just the strategy that you're following. So if you're following, let's say you want to do a 1.33, then what you'd want to do is just figure out, and if this is just how I would run it, if I was doing that. Let's see, let me pull up this real quick because I've got the table here.
That's an 8-6. So that would be 8.
Yep, 8-6. So you'd run so you could run a 57% compound to a 43% withdrawal if you wanted to maintain a 1.33, and just when you set up your allocation. So let's say you have 10 tokens available as your reward, then you would do a 57% compound, and you just pull the bar over. I know without the UI, it's hard to describe, but you just pull the bar over to 57% and 43% withdraw, and then hit go, and it just does that. If you did that every day, you'd maintain a 1.33. That's how I would manage it. Instead of doing 100% compound one day and then, withdraw the next, and then do some kind of, 8-6 strategy on your 14-day rolling average. I would just select the percentages, and then you're safe. You stay within that CWR without worrying about, I did this one day and then I don't remember what I did the last day, and I'm 2 hours earlier today than I was yesterday. You don't care about the time if you're doing the same exact percentages each time.
Yeah, I think that everybody's going to have their own strategy that's going to be best for them and their investment. But I think everybody's going to agree on being consistent, throughout the way. It will favor their investment. I think just being consistent. I mean, pick whichever strategy you want, but be consistent with it throughout, I think.
Yeah. I think it'll be easy to figure out once we all see the UI live, and there won't be I don't think there'll be as many questions about how it's going to work or function, because we have a sliding bar basically, and it allows you to select a percentage. And so I would just do the same percentages every day to make sure you stay at whatever CWR you're targeting. So if you're targeting a 1 to 1.0, then you do a 50% compound, a 50% withdrawal every time you do the allocation. That way you never have to worry whether I did it 5 hours earlier today versus when I withdrew, I did it right at the 24-hour mark, because then your ratios can get mixed up. And that's why we did the auto allocation system, the allocation function, so that you could just select percentages and you didn't have to worry about the last time you compounded and, I compounded 12 hours one day and then I withdrew 18 hours the next. Well, now my ratios are off. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. Yeah. And I would encourage everybody to go back and look in the white paper and go to the pump and dump throttling section towards the bottom and look at the schedule there. I mean, it really, that's the Bible as far as a strategy that you're going to have to kind of adhere to based off if you have just a bond or if you've got the silver, gold, or platinum. There's the schedule there that you can kind of play in. So that's a very important part of the white paper that really needs to be examined and kind of in your back pocket when you're following your schedules to look at. So I'd advise everybody to go back and revisit that and kind of come up with a plan because it's getting close. 15th is right around the corner.
Yeah, and what I can do is I can publish. It's safe to do this because everybody can do the same thing, but I can publish like the percentages that you would want to allocate to maintain a certain CWR, and as long as you're doing that same thing. Now, obviously, if you're trying to run on the hairy edge and do like a 0.75 CWR, I probably wouldn't want to recommend that, just because if you foul up just a little bit and you drop below that, then you would fall to a 0.5% daily ROI. But if you want to run a little above that, because you were, you needed to take more out, then you could run like a 0.8, for example. But I would, calculate the percentages that are going to be equal to the CWR that you want to maintain, and then just make sure you're just entering those percentages every time. But I don't have to worry about if I do that same allocation twice a day, it doesn't matter, or 3 times a day, it doesn't matter. I'm still maintaining the same CWR. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It makes sense. And when you're looking at the range, I mean, if you have a silver NFT, there's a range from having no NFT or at all. You're looking at a 6 compound, 8 withdrawal with nothing, but a max of a 10 compound and 4 withdrawal for silver. So there's enough range in there that if you decided you wanted to go a little more aggressive or if you wanted to claim a little bit more, you have that range within that 14 days or however length it is to make a change. Is that right? I mean, you can't go up obviously because you'd have to have a gold, but you can go down a little bit in your range.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And if you went up, it doesn't hurt you. It's a benign thing. You're just going to run into the ceiling and there's no penalty or anything like that. It's just not going to allow you to withdraw or compound anymore. So you'd have to withdraw or airdrop at that point to get your ratio back down a little bit. But it's not going to. You could probably do one lopsided, transaction and get it back down, and you'll be able to see your CWR on your dashboard. So it'll be an easy adjustment to make.
Nice, good deal. I appreciate all the.
Do you want me to drop a table real quick with the percentages in the chat so you can just take a look at that?
Oh, that'd be great. I mean, definitely.
It's nothing fancy like Gordy would do, but it's just raw data. It'll kind of give you an idea of what those schedules look like in terms of percentages. I just dumped it in there.
Yeah, I see it. Okay, good deal.
So if you wanted to really calculate out to the thousandths or whatever, but if you're running a schedule and on the slider you went to, for example, if you wanted to do the 1.33, you could just do a 57% compound and a 43% withdrawal. I can replace that with one that doesn't have the decimals in it. That's just for our UI folks. This one, let me do that. So then when you do your allocation, you just make sure you have the right percentages.
Yeah, that's helpful to know because a lot of people are not going to be able to do the math or to see that to have that ratio in there. So that would be real helpful.
Yeah, I was thinking I could probably put that table in like the auto allocation section of the white paper maybe, or we could just keep it available out in the Telegram as well as one of the functions.
I think that could be a helpful addition to the white paper.
Okay. This table's pretty raw, so it's just like C and W is obviously compound withdraw, but
Maybe get Gordy to throw some jazz on it, but in line with the rest of the graphics.
yeah, and there's obviously like so even without an NFT, you could still run it at 1.5 as well. So you could just calculate the percentages of compound and withdraw if you really wanted to max out the compounding for a 1.5 CWR. You could raise the shoot. I wonder if that's almost 60/40 or maybe a little bit over 60/40. I could calculate that and figure that out if you wanted to run a 1.5. I wouldn't recommend the 0.75, but we could, bring down that a little bit.
Now, since the main thing is going to be the sliding scale on there, and as you slide it, the percentages, it's not going to tell you. So if once you get it to 57%, it's not going to say 8. And then when you go to the withdrawal, you go to 43, it's not going to show 6. So you're going to have to know. Yeah. So that would be kind of neat, huh, Brett? If because obviously I'm wanting to, I'm not going by percent. You're going by actual percentages, but most of us are going to be going by an 8 compound 6 withdrawal ratio, so that's what I'm picking. So now, I'm going to have to go and use a slider and kind of figure out and see what that. But if you had a slider that as you slide it, it's 8, 9, 10, or 4, 5, 6. Boom! I want to be on 8. Boom! I lock it in at 57%, and then move on to there. That'd be kind of a neat thing, to have.
Yeah, actually, we're moving beyond the whole days thing with this system. With CWR, it's more of a percentage related thing. If you're trying to stick to a schedule, I think that the days of compounding, days of withdrawal is sort of going to be antiquated by this system now. I think once we all kind of acclimate to it, the reason why I built the table with the 14-day schedule was so that people could relate to what they're seeing in other daily ROI dApps. But we may move past that with this system because it's not going to be about, the number of days. It's really the number of seconds. So yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll maybe start to shift everybody's thinking to percentages, and how they're allocating rewards based on a percentage basis to maintain a certain schedule. Because at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter, and it's hard to keep track of when you last compounded and worrying about, if I did it before the 24-hour timer runs out, what was the last time that I did and how much did I allocate and all these kind of things. So just moving to a percentage system, I think just makes a lot of sense. You don't have to worry about what I did the day before or how much time I let elapse since the last compound or withdraw I did. If you were trying to allocate 100% to compound one day and then 100% to withdraw the next, this kind of just takes all that confusion out of it. So yeah, let me think about maybe some tools like that. Like this table is probably a very important one to give people an idea. Keep the idea or concept of days available, but really start to shift towards, with our system, a percentage basis is much more important. And then you're doing that same percentage every day, and you're not worried about what you did the day before or how much time elapsed the day before when you did the allocation.
Good deal. Appreciate that, Brett, going in depth in that. I'm just having a lot of questions, just from myself, but more so in the chat as well, because people are coming in and asking certain things, and I don't know 100% sure. I kind of have an idea of what I want to do in my strategy, but certainly don't know enough about it to advise or to give any accurate data. So I appreciate you going in depth on that and working that out, man.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. No, it's good to talk through this because I understand it at a different level. So sometimes it's when I think about what my strategy would be, I'm just like, oh, I'll just use the percentages and not worry about a daily schedule. But other people might be still thinking about, doing 100% allocation to either compound or withdraw every time they go to the UI, every time they make an interaction with it. But I think the safer, easier way to do it is just think in terms of percentages and kind of ditch the whole daily schedule idea.
Brett or Atlas, did we have Jimmy coming in to talk this evening? Because I just saw in the chat he has to leave in 15 minutes, so perhaps we could get on to that before he has to go.
All right, thank you. Absolutely. Jimmy, are you ready, sir?
Yeah, I could. Can you hear me?
Hear you perfect.
All right.
Welcome.
All right.
Yes, Jimmy. Sorry to keep you waiting. We were gonna just ask a couple questions and then get right to you, but the gentleman here got into the deep dive of the whole system. So I apologize for that, sir. But if you're ready and can share your screen, the floor is all yours, Jimmy.
All right. All right. Can y'all see that?
Yes, sir.
All right,
Right
great.
ahead.
So I'll get started here. So I saw it last evening and the last couple of days and how you guys presented. So I'll kind of follow that, but obviously I don't want to just kind of rehash what's stated in my article. I'll take it more so on the tact of how I kind of arrived at this and maybe more inspiration. So just the Medium article, obviously I've seen cryptozoas and impressed by the folks that do this for a living or kind of a main profession. I kind of joked in the chat the other day that this is the first ever financial article I've ever wrote. So forgive me if it's not really great. But I think I've been inspired by kind of watching you. And so I guess my approach to this is more so from the angle of other folks who are maybe on the fence, maybe looking at that contest and kind of looking at it from the perspective of, what kind of inspiration can I have if I'm trying to do the same thing? I think for me, what, kind of being nervous about writing this thing was, so what do I write? I'm not a financial advisor. I'm relatively new to the crypto space. And I think my approach was, well, how can I identify? If it was me, who can relate to me? What can I write about where I feel comfortable? And so that I think it only took me about a minute, right, to go, well, I think there's one thing about me that I'm pretty comfortable with, that I relate with, that in day-to-day life I identify with. And of course, that's my being a veteran and my veteran status. So, it's not unique to me. There's plenty of folks that have served, plenty of folks that are still serving, plenty of folks around the world that are serving either for their government, for the Peace Corps, for the military. It doesn't matter. It's service. And that includes first responders. So you name it, right? So it's kind of an affinity group that I feel proud to be a part of. In my case, it's being part of the American Armed Services. So I can go over some things in the article overview. I wrote it from a veteran's perspective. And that perspective is, I'm kind of used to structure, rigidity, stability. For folks who aren't veterans, a lot of times, when we're young in the military, we go through this kind of whole ARK journey. I said ARK, right? No pun intended, or was it? Where you kind of start off as a young kid and you spend recklessly, you blow your enlistment bonus right on a brand new Mustang. and you see it all the time, and you're just so happy to have some stability in life and have a disposable income. Then you get married and have kids, and then you realize, oh, some of those decisions I made as a younger member were not very smart. And then as you grow wiser, those financial decisions start becoming a lot more mature. You're invested in a TSP. You've got a pension coming. You're starting to get serious about things. So here I am. I think I've got a good handle on my quote unquote normal, traditional finance investment side. And then I enter crypto. And good Lord, what a whirlwind it has been in the last year. And I say a year, right? I told you in the beginning I was relatively new to crypto, and I still feel like I'm brand new to crypto. So I kind of wrote that. I started off my article with that perspective of feeling comfortable about a background I was in. I'm a Navy nuke, even more so. That military service is even more so structured, right? I've got manuals, I've got parameters, left, right limits. I immediately get slapped if we do something incorrect per procedure. But at the same time, in that kind of service and rigidity, there's a lot of flexibility. So it's interesting that as a veteran, you've got all these rules, but you're allowed to be creative within that. So it's really a nice dynamic for me professionally to kind of be in a world where you do have parameters, but you are allowed some creativity, innovation within that. Whether it's on the battle space, whether it's in an engine room, whether it's in the cockpit, you name it, whether you're a doctor. And that's kind of what I alluded to here. So I go into crypto, and, as a veteran, I kind of am totally out of my comfort zone. I'm not used to things being out of my control. I'm not used to being at the mercy of people I don't know, leaders that I don't trust, projects that say one thing and even kind of worse, maybe projects that kind of play upon your loyalty. That's kind of a big deal, obviously, for us veterans is the loyalty to a cause, to a person, to a movement. And in a lot of these projects, good and bad, some of the bad ones of obviously preying on that. So fast forward to the end of 22, and I kind of joked to my wife that I could tell that my crypto journey in 2022 was not good because I'm going to be claiming some nice capital losses, right, on my 1040, and that's not necessarily what I was looking for. And again, I went into this kind of on this journey of all the things they sold you on crypto, right? Crypto was going to be this panacea, and it was going to unlock these barriers for folks that are kind of late in the game. It's going to maybe give you a second chance to make amends for some past financial woes, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, end of 22, I'm kind of scratching my head going, all right, what's going on here? I've been trying to find these passive income plays. I've been on the fence. I've been watching things like Drip. I've just kind of been doing my research. And all of these things I've kind of noticed, that sustainability piece keeps coming up, even more so as I experienced the tail end of the 2021 bull market into the bear market. And then the realization came that a lot of the protocols that you thought you were a fan of, that you thought were doing well, they are purely fueled by speculation and the power of bull market. When you enter the bear market, they get exposed, and they get exposed because they're not sustainable. So I get referred to ArkFi, and I kind of figure out immediately that one of the first things that caught my attention, and you all mentioned it, was ArkFi encourages you to take money out. It discourages max compounding. All these kind of behaviors that I found kind of typical of the degen plays, etc. Little kind of a military anecdote, I guess. In the military, we love to teach, and we love to teach our junior folks. We love to take lessons learned, and there's one thing about ArkFi that kind of endears the protocol to me, and that it teaches you how to be a responsible investor. So whether or not you're doing it consciously, but the fact that you are taking profits, the fact that you are fixated on a goal of your return of capital, the fact that you are doing things responsibly and within a rule set, kind of these rule sets that are similar to 401ks, et cetera, and you're doing so, it kind of teaches, I think, maybe some of the degen folks that are in crypto, that you can make a decent income out of crypto without having to, throw all caution to the wind. You could do things responsibly. You can earn a really high yield. I know that's sometimes considered a bad word in the traditional finance side. You can earn a high yield if you just, learn good practices in crypto. Take your initial out, take profits when you can. I know James Pelton kind of mentioned that on that AMA today. And I know he had a tweet earlier that was saying you need to take your profits out. And then he also made another tweet, right, that was max compounding is not a good thing, paraphrasing. So really the guts of this article, there's a little bit of this, right? This article, I say a little bit, it's heavily influenced, obviously, in my writing style for being in the military mindset, but you don't have to be. I mean, I kind of wrote that here so I could get over my writer's block, some of my nervousness in writing something that I'm comfortable with. But honestly, if you read this thing, it shouldn't really matter, right? If you've served or not, hopefully it's kind of applicable to anybody. So some of those things that are traits in the military, I like to keep things simple, right? I like to go off checklists and acronyms and things that make it simple. And I kind of looked at ARK as safe, all right? It's sustainable, it's anti-whale, it's flexible, and there's multiple ways to earn. And so that was my little cheesy little acronym for me to kind of, if someone asked me for an elevator speech on ArkFi, that's what I would say. It's safe, and here's why. So at the same time, as you progress on and you're trying to talk to someone about ArkFi, you can just point them to the white paper, and then they're going to come and look at you like, what the heck did I just read, right? I already am having a hard time with DeFi and crypto wallets and gas fees. Now you throw this thing at me. So it is a lot. And that's where you kind of then reach out, hey, we can support you in these groups. We've got syndicates, we've got team leads, we've got folks that can actually, break this down in a much simpler manner. If you're, again, trying to do that highlight speech, that elevator speech for ArkFi, for me, I think, I've listed some of these things, but the biggest one out of all of them, you notice I bolded it. So to me, from my perspective, it's sustainable. Again, I'm not going to lie. A lot of this stuff that I look at ArkFi, fortunately or unfortunately, I look at it through that military veteran lens. I look at kind of ArkFi as the entire journey of that wallet is a campaign. I think someone mentioned like a sprint to the finish. Like for me, it could be just an overall campaign. And in that overall campaign, you've got different strategies, you've got goals, you've got different tactics, you've got, and in a lot of cases, when you're operating in a military campaign, one of the big things about a military campaign is sustainability, right? You're not going to win any kind of battle or war if you don't focus on sustainability. You could peter out too quick if you don't survive the winter, if you don't, plan for a 3 to 5 year campaign. So when I look at ArkFi and I look at sustainability, I'm like, yeah, I think these guys get it. So I'm going to fast forward, right? And for me, some of those things that were sustainable, and again, that kind of related to my upbringing, price stability mechanics. I in my groups, I try to stay very careful and be careful about that word stable, because a lot of times in the degen world, stable kind of denotes peg, and we all know that that's not what ArkFi is. So, I've got to figure out my own way to explain this one better. Maybe less volatile is a better word. Anti-whale dumping, right? We know that that there's tokenomics that discourage that and penalize that. Reward throttling, compound suspension if you are exceeding compounding ratios. That whale tax that sort of that increases as your balance grows, so you're not being crushed continually by large bags. Everyone has a chance to enter. And then of course, the roadmap and the roadmap on what we're going to do with our treasury funds. Atlas, I was going to say, one comment about, when you're continually asked that question about sustainability or external revenue, from my perspective, I think maybe the approach would be, we built our protocol without necessarily needing to have that external revenue buoying us, propping up the protocol. We've built this protocol to survive without external revenue. That being said, we're going to have that external revenue. We're going to have the liquidity management system. We're going to have all these things, that all work together. But honestly, if you didn't have the external revenue stream, I personally think the protocol would continue to, thrive. You add that on, it's sort of like a bonus, and responsible use of those treasury funds are going to help continue this protocol in the future. So I get to the end. I'm going to highlight this, the bottom line. You're going to hear a lot of vets always use this bottom line up front, or bottom line this. Like, even right now, I feel like I've already kind of spoke way too much on this article. But for me, the bottom line is this protocol, it promotes good behavior. It teaches you good practices. It teaches you the bad things, right, that take down projects and that deplete funds, etc. And it teaches you about sustainability. And that sustainability lesson, right, should be kind of applied to every other thing you do outside of ArkFi, whether it's, maintaining your investment principle, being responsible with profits, taking profits and making sure that your balance grows and doesn't go in these wild fluctuations from moonshot to moonshot. And this is the tip of the iceberg, right? This protocol really is for all. It's not just for whales. Every wallet gives you the same opportunity. I kind of look at that again from the military perspective. Everyone joins, whether you're an officer, enlisted, what have you. You kind of all have the same pathway that you have, that you choose your own adventure, and anybody can get into this network and kind of determine, where they want to go. And if you are confused and you're not understanding some concepts, again, like all the veterans do, we stick together and we kind of rally around each other. We rally around our team. And I look at the ArkFi team and the syndicates like that. I kind of look at that structure where you're at the top organization, a ship, a squadron, a battalion, and then it kind of progresses down to the division, department level, squad level, watch section. So, these syndicates. So I even look at the syndicate I'm part of, right? So I'm part of Harry's syndicate, which is the Squid Ark syndicate. But within each of the people in that syndicate, we can be our own syndicate lead. We could take charge of our own group of folks. We can kind of chart our own path. And, again, that's part of that flexibility and that thing that I love about this protocol. And I think that's about it. So I'll kind of turn the floor over back to you and hope that was a good presentation. By the way, it is addicting to kind of do these articles, because I just published another one. So, once you do one and you kind of get used to it, you start doing another one. So I literally just published another one right before we went live. All right, back to you, Atlas. I don't know how to.
Thank you so much for writing that article. It's amazing that you were inspired here by these folks, Catalyst and Brad. Get your ace. And I do want to comment a bit about that, but first of all, I do want to thank you for your service to all of us. I know that the selfishness that has to come, the sacrifice that you guys take, really by choosing a life of let's say certain sacrifice and turmoil, and instead of going for a peaceful life, if you know what I mean. So very much appreciated. And it's really cool you're in the Navy. My brother actually was a naval officer as well. He actually passed away in the line of duty back in 2005. So, I get a little emotional about it, but it's so cool that you're here, man. And I love what you've done. I like the whole perspective, how you're talking to veterans and you're using analytical information, data, and breaking it down in such a way that I think not just veterans, but anyone that reads an article like this sees it's coming from a very good place of ethics and values. You use, bottom line, you use a lot of language that I think that folks could really relate to and just have confidence that here's someone that's not trying to scam anyone or present something that seems, too good to be true, which is, I think, one of the first things that most folks would think with a high yield. So I think the way you tackled it is really brilliant, well put together, and something that I'm definitely going to send to family members and friends, because I think a lot of folks can really relate. The folks that you're talking to, especially those veterans, those servicemen, all over the world, they could really, I think, connect with what you've written here. Thank you so much.
Really honored to be part of this team.
Yeah, we were both, Atlas and I were both chatting back and forth about your article. We loved it, and I will say that this is like a perfect example of taking, your own personal experience, the frame of reference that you're coming from, and relating it to this investment world, which is, like you mentioned, people are coming into this thinking crypto this, crypto that, and it's completely turning it, into a positive and relating it to how this can be applied to, any kind of niche or any kind of perspective. And I think that's super important for people to understand, in that they think, oh, well, everybody's talked about ARK, this way or that way or in a technical way, but relating it to who you are, a specific group of people, like, Betty connects and talks about, people that might be, older or technically challenged. You're coming in from a veteran standpoint. Brad's coming in from a previous business owner and a coach and somebody who used to be a personal trainer. So relating that to a specific niche or group of people, that's really going to connect. You might find yourself with a fast growing, huge team here shortly. If people that were in the military or currently in the military resonate with what you're saying. I had the idea a while back, before I started as a team member, to promote people that were enjoying like an RV lifestyle, van life, those type of people, because that's what I was into, traveling. And, they're all looking for a very passive income as well. And so relating my articles to that, and, how you can disconnect from the rat race and the slave wage and all of those kind of things, that's going to resonate with a different group of people. But there's a huge niches online that you can tap into, of veterans, of military, active military, retired military, people that, are going to be looking for an investment like this. And, that group of, 10,000 might be only 100 that, you end up attracting and bringing over to the investment. But to you, at the end of the day, that's a really big team. It could mean, a very fast growing large network of people that come into the investment. So very well done. And I think you've kind of hit the nail on the head in terms of choosing a target market and being true to it and connecting with it in a way that, you might find a career here writing as well. So great job. Thanks, Jimmy.
Alice, do you have any comments, suggestions regarding the article, sir? Maybe he's not able to respond at the moment. Go ahead.
Was that question directed to me? To me?
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
I didn't hear Catalog. Sorry, I just heard the question. I didn't hear who you were addressing it to. No,
you're the man.
I just want to say congratulations on your first and second article. Well done. I'm gonna give it some claps as soon as we get off here. And sounds like you're well on your way to becoming a medium article writer. Congratulations. I haven't actually scrolled all the way through it, but so I don't have any suggestions at this point, Atlas.
Thank you so much. Do we have it posted here? Because I'd like everybody that's here, let's go together, guys, and clap this up. This is quite fantastic. Let's show our support here for Jimmy. Let me see. Admins, do you have it, and can you post it for everyone here to be able to clap the article?
Jimmy, if you want to send it to me, S23 or Fortunate, any one of us, we'll put it in the chat for you right now.
Thank you, gents. I'm going to go ahead and clap it too. And man, I think we need a round of applause.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Atlas. Me or Fortunate, because S23 is no longer with us. So either or one of us two will put it in the chat for you.
Okay. Let's see here. Okay, he sent it to me. I have it right here. Ladies and gentlemen. And let's go ahead and post it. Let's go together. It's no time like right now. Here we go.
Fortunate got in there just before you, Atlas. He's posted it.
Okay.
Oh, no, he's deleted it. Leave yours there.
Okay. Let's clap. Let's go.
I just gave it 50 claps. For the community members that aren't familiar with Medium, you can clap up to a maximum 50 times per article.
Oh, okay. Now I understand. I just hit it one time when we did it the other day. Okay, I'm glad you clarified that again, Catalyst. Okay, I went to my math.
It's kind of like a rating system. I mean, the more you, I guess theoretically, you can give it anywhere between 0 and 50 claps. But generally, at least in our Cryptozoa community, we all support each other by giving each other all 50 claps. So, for what it's worth.
Do you have a limit per day? Is that how it works? Or?
No, it's 50 claps per article. If you come back the next day, you can't add additional claps to it. So okay, it's 50 claps per person clapping.
Correct. So if, let's say we have 5 articles today, could I clap all of them 50 times?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I misunderstood. Yes, you can clap each article a maximum of 50 times.
Fantastic. Well, let's go, guys. I want to see this grow. I know I put a bunch of them. We got it to 191. And can you explain to us how this helps Jimmy and all the folks that are here writing articles? What happens? Is there an algorithm like in YouTube when people, thumbs up?
Yeah, it is, you can make the YouTube analogy. Claps are kind of like likes. You can also comment on, every YouTuber says like, comment, and subscribe. Well, the analogy in Medium would be clap, comment, and follow.
Okay.
So follow is like subscribing. Well, actually, I think there's a separate subscription functionality. But anyway, back to your question. The more claps an article receives, as well as a view, Medium is monitoring the amount of time that a reader is on your article, and so they provide some interesting metrics. If you're inclined to look at your stats, you can see what's the average amount of time that somebody was actually on my article reading it. Did they just open it up and, skim through the first couple paragraphs, or did they read the whole thing? And then, of course, claps. Ultimately, what you're shooting for, if you get enough claps and views, Medium has a daily digest that they send out to Medium subscribers. And that's based off of your likes. I think somebody brought this up in yesterday's pod. When you become a new member of Medium, you kind of seed it with the topics that you're into. So if you're into crypto or DeFi, you can put that in when you're signing up, and then you'll get those types of articles in the daily digest. Now, what's cool about, and usually the Daily Digest is a list of, 3 or 4 Medium articles. And these are Medium articles that have ranked high due to claps and views. And if you get put in the Daily Digest, that thing gets sent out to, I have no idea how many people use Medium, but it would presumably get sent out to all the Medium subscribers who have indicated they have an interest in crypto or DeFi. And if that happens, your likes would go way up and your views would go way up, because that gets delivered every morning into Medium users' mailboxes.
Have you guys been able to ever accomplish that?
Patrick Cryptozoa has on some of his articles. I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, a few of our community members have. If I ever open up my Daily Digest and I see one of our community members, listed in there, I'll let them know, because it's kind of a big deal. It's like, hey, dude, you just made the Daily Digest. I don't know the exact algorithm, so I mean, don't hold me to everything I'm saying, but that's kind of what I've come to understand how it works. And I've been writing for Medium for a couple of years now.
Hey, Catalyst, can you post your last article you just did on ARK, please?
Yeah, sure. It has been posted, but I can't. I'm not an admin. One of the admins would have to post the most recent article.
Rooster.
I have a follow-up article to that too that I'm just wrapping up here. It's pretty interesting. I've been closely monitoring the performance of the legacy and NFT rewards and the payout and the return. I'd love to present that tomorrow. There's some pretty interesting stuff coming out of it. All positive, by the way.
Fantastic.
The NFT rewards pool is pumping, it's printing, and it's only getting bigger. And we haven't even launched the vault yet. It's going to be really exciting on the 16th.
Man, you brought some thunder yesterday to this podcast with that article. There was a vibe in here. The level of FOMO, the meter was just going off the Richter scale. Amazing job, man. I think you opened up a lot of eyes.
Yes, that's true. I was sold.
I was just going to say
I just minted 12 gold legacy NFT.
Let's go.
And then I talked to other Korean members, and they're considering. I think one of them minted 2 NFTs, and then the other one is thinking about minting another one and things like this. So it's powerful. I think you nailed it yesterday. It was great.
Well, thank you. If you like that, wait till you see this article I'm working on now, because it's really eye-opening. I'm getting really pumped for Friday now.
Thing is, when right after minting my gold NFT, just 46 BSD popped up. I don't know where it came from, but as soon as I minted, there's a NFT reward, 46 BUSD. That's amazing.
Really? That's great.
It's really interesting, right? How this comes full circle, Catalyst, because Udemand was referred to us, and we met through SK Crypto K, and became a part of the community. He's leading our group for Korea, and really understood the project, but was getting comments, and at one point he asked for a private meeting with me and Brett to talk about the legacy NFTs, because he was kind of under the impression that it might have been like a whale game, right? And he wanted some clarification. His people are looking, hey, 10,000 for a platinum NFT. Hey, what's going on? How does that affect us? And we spoke to him, but I think the light bulb aha moment really happened yesterday. And I'm just so happy to see him. He wrote me after, and he's like, "Hey, man, wow, I really get the legacy NFTs now. Man, this is really, really awesome. I want to communicate this to my community." So thank you, Catalyst. Really appreciate it. And thank you, Udaman, for being here to partake here and share with us and learn with us. I mean, all you guys, thank you for being here with us. There's a lot of learning that we have to do to manage our investments, but also to be able to, connect with other folks. And this is such I think a rich and productive time for us to be going over this data and having these brilliant minds that are able to analyze and convey this information in the way you guys are doing it. It's impressive. So thank you.
It is really. And then also today's podcast is amazing also because, the most adults, 18 and above adults must serve the military, and then they understand the military's terms. And then today's AMA podcast, I can understand what he meant, campaign and things like that. And I think it conveyed to lots of Korean male adults because they serve in the military, most of them. So that's very powerful.
Wow. Maybe we could translate it to Korean. Jamie, we're going to
I'm
make
thinking about Korean version of writing a Korean Medium article because yes, really, that's my intention. I really want to write a Korean Medium blog.
Can I chime in something? We have a number of community members just across the globe. Team Cryptozoa does, and what we started doing a few months ago is those community members that live in other countries started to ask permission if they could translate some of Patrick's and my and other people's articles into their languages, and we said, yeah, by all means. I mean, it's something that I personally am not able to do. And the benefit for them is they get to then add, replace, for example, if somebody's going to translate one of my articles, they could remove my referrer ID and add their referrer ID at the bottom of the article. And then what we started doing is at the top of the articles, at the very beginning, we would put a little link and say, this is translated into the following languages. And then they would reciprocate. So on their translated article, they would link back to my article. So it drives traffic back and forth. My article still, of course, has my referrer ID, but the ones that they translate have their referrer ID. And we have a member that is multilingual and will take one of my articles and translate it into 3 different languages. So I can only assume that's really helping that person, build in the case with ARK, build their syndicate.
Yes, you just mentioned that. Yeah, I need a permission from you, Careless. The first article that I want to translate, I'll talk about is the legacy NFT, and then if I use your article and then translate to Korean, and on top of it, it is from Europe, and then bottom, I will put my referral ID. Is that okay?
Sure, absolutely. I've never said no to anyone that wants to, if you want to put forth the effort to translate, then by all means, just, I see, so Udaman, yeah, I mean, you can DM me and we can talk about that. Or you can just,
sure.
Actually, you can just, if you're on Medium, I mean, we do always ask permission first. So yes, I appreciate that. But if you want to translate, the only thing we ask is that you just link back to the original article. So
sure,
you probably don't even need to DM me. You can just grab it and do it.
And do it, and I will let you know once I'm done, finished it. I'll share the link.
Great.
This is a Korean version of your article.
I don't think any of my articles on any DeFi projects have been translated into Korean, so that'll be nice. Thank you.
Yes. I mean, you just mentioned, you just divide, and then explain the facts. And then that's very powerful. You didn't say, this is so good, this is so nice, and then this is amazing. You didn't say anything like that, but you just say, this is this, that this has a utility for this, and things like that. And then, wow, it just opened my eyes. This is not a well game NFT. It just makes sense. So,
well, thank you.
That's powerful.
For everyone that's listening on this new article that I'm working on, one thing that came out of that I realized that should have made sense, but some things you don't see until they actually start digging into it and working the spreadsheets. The daily rate of return that I had mentioned yesterday, which is 0.4% currently, and by the way, that's held up over the last 3 days. That's across all tiers of NFTs. It's exactly equal, whether or not you have a silver, gold, or platinum NFT. Your daily returns are going to be the same because it's all based off of what the cost of the NFT was, which then impacts your share of the pool. But it's all, like I mentioned yesterday, it's all relatively equal. So again, whatever price point works for your financial situation, no one is earning a higher return than you are. If that makes sense.
That's awesome. Yeah, some people say, oh, you have $4,000 gold NFT, and then I have $1,000 silver NFT. You will earn more percent than me. Maybe they may think that way, but it's not, apparently.
Nope, exact same percent. Of course, a platinum NFT holders, when it comes down to the amount of BUSD that they get rewarded each day, they're going to make 10 times as much BUSD as a silver holder, but it all works out to be the same, currently 0.4% daily return. Now that's going to vary, of course, but right now that's what it is.
Uniman, can you tell us more? You said you bought how many gold?
I know.
Explain that to me.
You misunderstood. I minted one gold NFT. I'm the 12th.
You're the 12th. I thought you said you minted 12. I was like, what?
Oh, no, 12.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I'm glad we clarified that.
Sorry about that.
Hey, it's still exciting and a smart move. And we're going to see more and more folks come and I believe participate in the DAO, the legacy NFT, and add. It's such a bonus to the whole project, the way that everything ties in together. And I do foresee folks starting small and then growing their way to the NFTs as well. So a lot of opportunity really ahead for everyone. So
there was a nice pump on the NFTs today, by the way. But, when we did the pod yesterday, there were 80 silver, for example, 80 silver NFTs, 74 the day before. So over the course of yesterday, there were 6 additional silvers added. But right now, if you go out, you'll see that 92 silvers have been minted. So over the last 24 hours, there's been an additional 12 silvers, which that's double the rate that we saw the previous day. So I don't know, maybe the article did cause some people to FOMO.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's actually 93 silver NFT just minted 93rd. And
then someone Someone must have done one just in the last 5 minutes while we've been talking. That's amazing.
Like that. And then I also wanted to be in 10, but somebody did mint it, and then I am the 12th. So that's it.
Congratulations, Uniman. Welcome on board the DAO. We're going to be creating a separate Telegram for the legacy NFT holders. and that's going to be part of the whole DAO. We'll start to provide the information for all of you. But yeah, the more you guys talk, the more bullish everybody gets, and I just hear them.
All aboard!
Oh, guys, great times. So you're going to be back tomorrow, Catalyst, and you're going to bring more alpha to the table.
If it works with your schedule, I don't know what you have planned for tomorrow's pod, but yeah, I'd be more than happy to, because I got pretty excited writing this article too. I know it sounds kind of nerdy or geeky, but I'm a numbers guy, and just some things that came out today was like, oh man, I can't wait to share this. So if it works with y'all, I'll do it.
We'd love to have you. Absolutely. And I'll put you actually on the banner for tomorrow's podcast as our guest. And man, we'll get to cooking. It's absolutely fantastic.
Okay.
An honor to have you here. Go ahead.
Well, good. I'll update. I'll have one more day of data, like one more day of rewards, which will, the more data that I have, the better the trend. I can see what's happening in terms of the growth of the rewards pool and what's happening with people's shares. It's just a really neat dynamic. The rewards pool is growing. The shares are gradually decreasing, but people's rewards are growing every day. And we haven't even launched. So it'll be pretty fun to see what happens after the vault launches. I'm going to be tracking this every day, by the way.
It's funny you say that you got so excited about it. I mean, Jimmy, it's his first article, and he was saying this is addictive. It's a fun process to be creative and do the research and to express yourself, right? It's
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And there's so many ways. I mean, I prefer writing, but we've got, some people love to do YouTube videos. Some people like to do live stream YouTubes. Other people like to do recorded YouTube videos. And then, now there's TikTok. I think that's uncharted I shouldn't speak. I personally don't use TikTok. My wife is addicted to TikTok, and she's constantly telling me I should be doing TikToks. And I'm like, oh, there's just not enough bandwidth. And to be quite honest, I don't really wrap my head around the TikToks, but Team Cryptozoa has TikTok channel. We have a Discord channel. We have YouTube channels. We have 2 Medium publications. So my point to the community is, like Atlas said, it's fun to be creative, and just be creative with whatever medium suits you. And I'm really glad that you guys were running those contests too. I mean, I don't know how many entries you got, but I'm sure it's been very popular.
May I comment about TikTok?
Yes, go ahead.
Please.
I think TikTok is owned by a Chinese company, and then they are not crypto friendly. So I made some short video how to do something in using MetaMask or something like that, short videos, and then they just deleted it.
Oh wow!
Just where's my video? And they deleted it.
Okay, well, I won't be making any TikToks.
I want to do some research on it. I want to see if we could find any TikTok. Have you done that, Udaman? Have you been able to see if there's other things that haven't been banned when it comes to crypto in TikTok, or it's pretty strong? You don't see anything.
I don't know. I don't know how did it, but my video was kind of how to guide video, how to participate, how to use the MetaMask and then withdraw and things like that. And it's short video, and then later it's gone. They just removed it.
Well, I know that there are TikTok videos on that has to do with crypto. Because my wife will send me links every so often if there's something that she thinks I would be interested in. Lately, she's been sending me various TikTokers talking about Sam Bankman-Fried, stuff like that. And
yeah, the U.S. Made TikTok actually set up a separate entity to be able to, for U.S. users to be able to use their protocol. They were going to ban it if they didn't.
Oh, that's good to know. Well, obviously, then that must be why we can do, because I'm pretty sure Patrick Cryptozoa says that I've heard him tell that we do have a TikTok account. To be honest, I haven't gone out there to it. But like I said, I've seen plenty of crypto-related TikToks, so that probably explains that.
Yeah, I had actually last night was the first time that I noticed that you can actually go live on TikTok. I always just thought it was people posting short videos, but you can actually have go live on it and actually invite other people to join you live on it.
Well, I'm starting to think, just from listening to Udaman and you talk about that, and knowing how my wife raves about it and all of her friends, that's probably a really big untapped market, especially for the goals of ARK to reach the average Joe and get DeFi to the masses, because that I certainly know how popular TikTok is. It just isn't really my thing, but that shouldn't.
Me and you both.
I think it could be. I mean, those YouTube videos I've seen, sorry, not YouTube, the TikTok videos that I've seen, these TikTok crypto people have huge numbers of followers, just like YouTube. So I don't know if they're making money on it. They may or may not be, but could be a market there for anyone that's interested.
Gary V, I don't know if you know who he is. He swears by TikTok.
Oh yeah.
He's obsessed with TikTok. And yeah, he makes some very good points, no doubt. So I wish we knew if we had somebody here that was big into TikTok and understood all of the rules and what are the opportunities and what works and what doesn't. I'm sure it takes some time to figure out.
It could be a future ARK contest.
We'd have to do some research and make sure that we're not wasting people's time. So yeah, I'm gonna set the intention. And usually when we do that, somebody will pop up. Hey, I'm the biggest TikToker in the world. Let's go. So,
yeah, it's outside my wheelhouse, so they can you can get them on and present.
Yeah, I wonder. I gotta ask SK. Maybe he's ever tried doing some shorts on TikTok or not. Yeah, he might be able to give me some information. We'll see. I mean, he's really busy lately.
So
Did you?
So far, I uploaded 4 short videos about the cryptocurrency and things like that.
Yeah.
And then one of them was they said it's violated community guidelines, so they removed it. But 3 of them are still there. And then I see people are watching it. So that's
okay.
Good.
All right. I understood and assumed from what you said that it was just all against crypto because you said China and everything. But I wanted just to confirm. So, okay, we do have confirmation. So 1 out of 3, that's not bad in such a big market. But I don't understand the system. If you can do like passive income, can you do hashtags? Do you know Udaman on TikTok?
Yes, you can do hashtags.
Okay. Oh man, yeah, we definitely have to do a contest. Let's work on that after launch. We also want to start pushing our Twitter, our Discord, doing the Twitter live spaces. Once we get everything up and running, everybody's super happy, calm, cool, collected, and earning, then we're going to start to put a lot of these things in order. Our minds, our main focus is, of course, being, here working to get everything absolutely perfect. And, going out and doing those AMAs. You guys said that you like writing, Medium articles and YouTube. Me and Brett, we like going and doing AMAs and talking to people about ARK. Speaking of that, Uniman, were you at the James Pelton YouTube AMA today or no?
I haven't watched it, but I know I was aware of that. You are gonna have a AMA with him.
Yeah. We were looking forward to that, and they're also going to be doing a Twitter thread for us for launch, and I think it's like the cherry on the top of the ice cream, right? Because he has a big community, so I think everything has worked out so far very well to plan, and we're very grateful. We're very happy. These conversations, going over the articles, is something that we want to continue to do. We want to make it part of the culture here. And just to hear that feedback, hey, I was inspired by somebody else who wrote, and I took the chance and I went out there. I enjoyed the process, and then you're seeing this fruit that's coming. This these seeds that are planted are inspiring others, and they're coming with these great ideas. Absolutely love what Jimmy created, speaking to his brothers, to his people, and I just can't wait to see what other folks show up, right? And what ideas, what they're able to express. I'm sure you've seen a lot, Catalyst, right? I mean, through the time you guys have been doing this.
Seen a lot of what?
Seen a lot of creative ideas in the way that people are able to incorporate into their writing and connect to something that they can relate to, like Jimmy did here, or just Sean.
Yeah.
You've probably seen some really cool stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. With the multiple publications we have, and probably literally hundreds of writers. I mean, we have so many articles coming in from our community, which is thousands, that we have probably a dozen editors on each of our publications, myself included. Just to keep up with it. It's kind of like needing multiple admins for a Telegram chat. It's world, it's global, and it's 24/7. And when people submit an article for review, we do review every single article before we actually publish it on our publication. But we have, again, 11 or 12 editors that can push the button. But back to your question, yeah, everyone's got their own style of writing. They've got their own techniques. I've picked up a lot of stuff. I'm sure people have picked up things from me, but there's no right or wrong way to do it. I mean, a lot of people just write about their personal experience, like we saw today, or their story or their journey, how they got into crypto, how they got into DeFi. How it's changed their lives. Those kind of stories are just as compelling to readers as the more technical stuff that I write. I mean, you're going to develop your own audience. The readers that resonate with what you write will follow you because they like your style, and the readers that resonate with what I write will follow me. There's no wrong or right way to do it. Just do it.
So, you may have gone over this yesterday when you were going over your article as well. And I know it'll vary depending on, the topic and maybe how in-depth you're going to go into that topic in a particular article. But on average, what would you say is a good length, for your first couple of Medium articles to write?
A good length?
Yeah.
What's cool about Medium is when you write an article, it'll calculate the time that it would take to read your article. At the top of every Medium article, it says this is a 5-minute read, or this is a 7-minute read. I try to keep mine succinct. I over the years that I've written, I think I don't have any hard data to support this, but anecdotally, I found that the shorter my articles were, the more reads they would get. The longer articles seemed people would start to read them, or maybe not even read. They would open them up and see that Medium would say, this is going to be a 15-minute read, and people would be, don't have time for that. I mean, unless they were really into it. So I have to, for me personally, I have to be cognizant of that and try to force myself to keep it brief. Yesterday, the article I went over yesterday, I believe Medium said that was an 11-minute read. And I try to keep my articles, under 10 minutes, but there was a lot of information to convey. And then I don't know if you recall at the very end, I even had a line in the article itself that said, for brevity, these other points, these other benefits provided by the NFTs are beyond the scope of this article. If I would have written an article covering every single exclusive benefit and use case that the NFTs provide, you'd start to write a white paper. So I would say, in answer to your question, and again, I don't have any hard data, but just try to keep it under 10 minutes, maybe even 5.
Yeah, it makes sense. The time that people are willing to spend on, a given thing, whether it's a video or something written, keeps getting shorter and shorter each year. So, if you're wanting to go in more in depth, then, maybe you start the article and kind of let them know it's a series where you're going to be doing 2 or 3 articles on the same topic, but that way you can keep it shorter.
That's a great idea. Yeah. A lot of writers do that. The article that I'm working on right now, at the top, I said this is a follow-up to the article I wrote a couple of days ago. And then I link back to that article so that if they want to get a little background on what I'm talking about, I mean, there's lots of ways to tie your articles together.
Right.
The other thing I was going to note is Patrick Cryptozoa taught me this really early on. He said that there's the audience that reads Medium articles typically don't watch YouTube videos. I mean, of course, there's crossover, but what its point was, the people who prefer reading articles, they have a huge preference of doing that in order to learn about a topic rather than watch a YouTube video. And a lot of times, if you think about it, people are doing this at work, and they can't watch YouTube videos at work, but they can read an article at work without, drawing attention to themselves. I mean, that's kind of funny, but it's actually true. But so, I mean, I'm not discounting YouTubers. I have all kinds of respect for the time and effort it takes to make YouTube videos. I have dabbled in that a little bit, not in the DeFi space, but in a previous life, I was doing some YouTube videos, but it takes a lot of work. I mean, to edit all that, and a lot of time and effort. So, but I do watch my share of YouTube videos. I just don't produce them.
Yeah, I think each medium has its place, for sure.
Absolutely. This is off topic, but for the team, the dev team, did anyone figure out a time or find out the specific time that the NFT legacy rewards are dispersed?
Yes. We talked to the guys about it today. It was at 12 a.m. UTC. That's
12 a.m. UTC. Okay.
Yeah, that's the time that it triggers. But it seems like last night it didn't trigger, and then John did it manually. There was something with the seconds where he hit it manually when it was supposed to do it. Anyway, it's all been sorted. But that's
okay.
The time we hit.
Great. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions for me? Because I'm gonna actually take off here pretty soon, but happy to answer any questions if you guys been waiting.
Ooh, before you go, say hello to SK Crypto K.
SK Crypto K in the house.
Who? I don't know who that is.
Man, the voice.
You must be driving home.
I am. Hope you're all doing good. Just wanted to pop in, say hi.
SK.
You the man. What's up, brother? What's up? Hey, and then
What's
I was gonna
up?
say I was able to sneak and listen in on the James Pelton AMA. Fantastic job by Mr. Green, Atlas, Brett. You guys kicked ass. It was like such a concise 1 hour, and you hit every point possible. I enjoyed listening to that. Good job.
Oh, wait, you were there? Or you heard it after?
No, well, I actually popped in, I don't know, the final 5 minutes of it, and I was like, oh, they're wrapping up. And I just like scrubbed back and started from the beginning with my AirPods and just listened to the whole thing. It was great.
Thank you, man. I'm glad I didn't see you there because I would have gotten nervous. Would have fumbled.
But yeah, you guys did really well, man. And James Pelton, he has a really good outreach, very honest guy. And, he seemed like he was digging what you guys were saying with the, one-to-one CWR and all of that. So, pretty good. I can't go back and see the live chat though. So I don't know what they were saying. I think he had that turned off. I was trying to check that out. Couldn't, but yeah, everything I heard, it was clean. So good job.
Thank you, SK. Means a lot, man. No, they had the live chat. There was folks in there. Most of them were our community, and it was very clean and very positive. Thank you, everyone that came and commented and hung out with us. It was a good time.
Oh, good. I think it's just like after the fact, I couldn't see the live chat. I'm sure during it was fine, but I was watching it post and couldn't see the live chat. But no, still awesome.
Yeah, we gave him a shout out. It was very professional the way that the whole setup was. Dealing with AMA lounges and all that. Like, yeah, they should they should learn from James Pelton because he runs a very smooth process. Felt very professional, and the information, the emails, the whole communication was top notch. So great experience. We enjoyed the process, and then of course going to do the AMA. And he's also going to do a Twitter thread for us for launch, which, by the way, SK, it's going to be December 16th. We're letting everybody know. Want to make sure that Mr. Green gets here on time, and not playing with there's a flight delay or something happens. We don't want to be launching without the man strapped to the desk. Great, man. And listen, man, the community has spoken. The feedback from your video, man, has been absolutely fantastic. Brad is all FOMOing. Oh my God, we got the SK video. Yeah. Go.
That's awesome. Yeah, thank you guys. Still tired on that one. I probably only got like 3 hours of sleep right now. I'm in a long work day, but appreciate it.
Hey, man, you delivered like a midwife. Let's go. Great job, man. Thank you so much, man. Wouldn't have been possible, really, without you, man. Your great advice. People are like drooling over the round robin, and man, that was sauce brought here by the one and only SK, and so many other factors and so many other things. I mean, this guy, sitting there, taking his time, making videos so we could show and, bring our coders to speed, how other systems work, how improvements can be made. You guys don't know a lot of the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, the attention to detail, And having him here was really, I think, so vital and important and a blessing. Let's get this crypto.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. And like even just through simple dialogue, I have to say I'm really impressed how Brett and the team can take from a conversation and just like elevate it, like Spark rewards, for example. Like, that's genius. Okay, you're going to be sending rewards up above the Guardian wallet, and all goes to the Guardian wallet, and then the Guardian wallet is the one that sends you like daily lotteries, and it's not even an airdrop. Like, the detail to make it a reward as if it came from a downline. So every day, people who are eligible that are getting those airdrops are able to stay at a 2% just a little bit longer. Like just stuff like that. Like, the attention to detail you guys do is phenomenal. So kudos to the team.
Thank you so much. Absolutely. People are understanding it. They're getting it. Demand, I don't know if you know, SK just bought his gold NFT, man. Yeah. He was confused at first about the legacy NFT and his community. Hey, is this a whale game? Me and Brad had a private conversation with him, but we had Catalyst from Cryptozoa writing an article. I think I sent it to you, actually. I don't know if you probably didn't, because you're so busy.
No, I saw it. I did see it. Yeah.
And man, the FOMO here was like, people were running just to go buy their all I heard, man, was this, like,
yeah.
And
hey there, are you having a party?
He went and bought one. Mr. Green, soon to be here at ARK HQ come Thursday. How you doing, Mr. Green?
Looking forward to. Still freezing my ass off here in Switzerland.
Well, you won't be freezing here. You'll be nice.
Yeah, man.
Warm, cool, and collected. Yeah, man.
Yep.
Great to have you here. We got SK Crypto K. You're usually asleep at this time, Mr. Green. You're having.
No, I'm having my last cigarette. No, I was just like wanted to get some work done before I just finished some things up. And your headset was somehow there was a delay on it, so I ordered it again. Gonna pick it up tomorrow.
Fantastic. The studio's coming along. Oh, SK, did I tell you that ArkFi is making a, like CNN quality broadcasting thing here for us?
No, I don't think you did. I'm excited to see that. He's I came from the streaming world, so I know what his ability is for cutting together graphics and like splicing together transitions. And yeah, if he's working on it, it's gonna be top notch.
He's a great man.
Forward to see that.
He came for a week and he's like, I don't want to go. You're gonna have to kick me out. Like, no, dude, you can stay as long as you want. Don't worry. We'll find something for you to do here. We found the perfect thing. So, man, I'm so happy to meet him. He's having a great time, and just enjoying. And he's doing his work for Bridge DeFi, and I'm doing my work here. It's like a big family. And then Mr. Green's coming on Thursday, so he'll meet ArkFi as well. And soon enough, man, we're gonna get to meet everybody in person. Chris Dugan, Brett Norden, everybody's gonna be hanging out. General Ashcroft as well.
I shall be here.
Hell yeah. No, it's gonna be.
I'm looking forward to the time where all legacy holders will be invited and all expenses paid trip to Vegas. So, depending on the rarity of your NFT, you get to fly economy, business, or first class.
Man, I'm sure they'll be able to pay their own way, but it would be cool to do a. It would be great to do a cruise.
Just do one extra day of claiming, and you can afford a first class ticket anywhere, right?
Yeah, man.
Oh man, I'm so looking forward. This thing is, I'm I don't know. I still don't want to, disclose too much, but the code is awesome. I'm gonna be so happy when I finally get to disclose all of it. And I mean, there is already some parts of it that are visible, the legacy NFTs. You can already read that code. But yeah, there is way much more to come.
Let's get this crypto.
Yeah, Mr. Green, good job on like coding, dude. Like when I just bought my legacy NFT, it was just so seamless. Everything just works the way it should. Even with the pre-sale aspect. So thank you for what you do, man. Very
Hey,
good job.
welcome. It's a pleasure to be here to do that. Actually, yeah, I also just wrote a tiny little contract today that takes care. Well, actually, I wrote a little helper contract just to read out like everyone's bond pre-sale amounts, and then I was like, "Ooh, I could use that snippet." Just pasted it into the bond contract, extended a little. So now, when we close the bond pre-sale, and when we add this all like to the final bond contract, I could just push one single button. It reads out everything from the pre-sale contract and automatically sets everyone up. Like, I just don't like to do things manually.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's like I just love like back in the days it was always so hard to, make a contract, test it and do all that. Nowadays I just say like, let me try that. Like the front end guy, he asked me for like Alex, he asked me for some other like for the auto allocation, so whether he could show what you chose, like what your current setting is. And I was like, yeah, let me think. Yeah, I just create a new struct and put that in there, and then I just saved it there, and I told him like, yeah, I made it for you. Let me just check if it compiles. Put it in, no errors. Like that never happened back in the days. It's just like it just works. Yeah, that's
That's
amazing.
great.
Yeah, now for the auto allocation, I'm not sure if all the features will be available from launch on the front end as well, but the contract is already ready, so you can register for the auto allocation. You can modify your auto allocation in case you change your mind, you want to change something up. You can do that as well while it's already running. And then I just added that today when I came up with that, where because now we saved the thing also in the contract, so you could also just extend your auto allocation. So you just say like, yep, I want to same thing, just another 30 days or so, push the button, and it just remembers what you did last time and like sends that to the server.
Yeah, a lot of folks won't realize just how how big a deal that's going to be once this thing gets started. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, Atlas. Now that you know what I was talking about last time on that AMA, and I wanted to share, is that public already? Atlas?
Sorry, go ahead.
That thing, those 3 additional options in the take action. Can I talk about those?
Yes, sir.
This is amazing. Guys, now listen. You know how our actions, you don't have to choose between compound and withdraw. You can set like 50% compound, 50% withdraw in one action. But now you have 3 more toggles you can use. There is the auto bonds, where if you toggle that, your withdrawals automatically get invested into bond. So you use that to buy bond with it. It's a cool way to make sure that your bond always is like stays on level, that you never lose a level for the rewards. And also, I just look at it as kind of a savings account where you could just, instead of taking it out and spending it, you could just say like, I just throw it into bond, so even my withdrawals can still earn some more rewards. Then you can also choose like, no, I need the money, like withdraw and sell. So you toggle that. You can only choose one of those, but you can say, yeah, swap, like withdraw and sell. Then all your withdrawal allocation gets sold and sent to your wallet in BUSD directly. Or you can also, if your goal is to maintain the 2% for as long as possible, you can also choose to withdraw and redeposit. So that means you do have a higher tax on that than just compounding, of course, but it counts as a new deposit, so it counts towards the NDV. And those three things is like you can choose whether you want to do them or not.
Someone had a comment. Was that you, General Ashcroft?
Because I was trying to mask my excitement, but so I got a little trigger happy with my finger there. But this is awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm also really happy about that because, it's just, and also those are also options available for the auto allocation. So you could just say, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna go on a holiday for 30 days. Just withdraw, compound, and directly put it in bond. And when you come back, you have like, I don't know how much, but a few $100s in bond and the rewards. You can also compound. Oh, oh man, I've never been so excited about a project ever.
Bro,
Your excitement shows through too, buddy.
That is fire. That is amazing.
So it's basically a true passive income. And I mean, the option that you can actually receive BUSD directly to your wallet without having to, buy, approve, swap, sell, do that over and over. It's just all in one.
Crypto. Man, it's great to see these guys. They've all really bought into the culture and really what we're building here. Understanding this is a multi-year journey, and to see them, have these moments and ideas and come back and share, it's really sometimes overwhelming, of gratefulness and gratitude to have found the right people to come on board, because we really wanted to do it the right way. I mean, SK, do you remember our first conversation way back?
Oh, yeah.
I told you, dude, if you can't be impressed with what, is going to happen, what the intention is here, then I'll go do something else. Like there's no point in wasting my time. There's 1,000 other things that I could go do and enjoy. And, because it just didn't seem logical, right, at that time, and still today. So it's one thing to have an idea, a vision, and be able to see a path towards what you want to accomplish. But it takes really a team. Without a team, you remember, SK, us going through people that you talked to a couple of them, took them to school, and 2 weeks to return. Yep. DM. Like, are you serious, bro? I can't, you can't answer. You can't find 1 minute out of your, day to just answer. And folks are really good at over promising and under delivering. And just everyone that's come together is such a superstar, man.
Yeah. So for me, it's time to lay low, go to bed, take a nap, and I'll be back tomorrow.
Let's get this crypto. Mr. Green, thank you so much for coming in, saying hi to the community, and perfect timing, man. SK's here. A lot of the great folks of the community are happy to hear from you. Good night.
Nice. Well then, good night, guys. Bye-bye.
Oh, you heard it here first. That's what's good about coming to the live podcast. Some really, really good details that are all going to be a part of this, and an essential ease of use, especially for these folks out there in the real world, where there's a certain sense of automation that's intuitive, and we're also making sure to put plenty of warnings, especially when we go to the mobile application, the full-blown version, where it'll send you some notifications. Hey, top up, your gas is running low. Those are things that I think are going to be really essential and important key factors for folks to be able to live their lives and earn while not having to overly stress about managing their ARK investment.
Yeah, some of the stuff he's talking about is just next level. Just more what separates us from the others that have come before us.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that was some really cool alpha, and it's great to see the team just like took it to the next level. You know, when we had the CWR, I was like, we got to have this allocation type thing, but you know, I didn't know how far they could take it, and they definitely stepped up. Alex, Mr. Green, Gordy, all those guys. The front end team is just, you know, spitting out ideas now. We can just sit back and watch now. Atlas, it's awesome. And I do remember there was like a couple pivotal moments with SK when I don't know if you remember, Atlas, but we were camping in the forest, and we would have these long calls with SK, and we were going through, and he's like, "Oh, check this out from Ooze, and check this out from Piston and Furio, and look at all these, you know." And like at the time, Furio was just rolling out. We were like, "Oh yeah, that's really cool. That's so smart." Like, watched one of their first AMAs, and I was like blown away by the team. I'm like, man, we got to raise the bar on this thing. We really need to step up if we want to make a splash in the marketplace, because these guys are really bringing it. And yeah, I think we've come close, if not achieved that goal. So Friday, moment of truth. We'll find out.
Absolutely. And good times, Brett. Good times. Well deserved. Yeah. I think Friday is going to be beautiful.
It really took, oh man, it was a huge team effort. I mean, just all the different aspects. And even with Chris, we spent hours on the calls with Chris too. He probably got annoyed with me a few times, but yeah, we had always some good back and forth, and it really helped shape it, you know. And yeah, people just coming forward, questions and challenging things just made it even better and better, and hardened it, you know, even better.
Donatello also spent some time with us. What's up, Donatello, man?
Oh yeah, Donatello. That's like old school. Donatello was like way back in the day.
Yeah, and he took us over to Cult Leader. I mean, man, we've been around town. We've really been around town. Donatello made his ARK video. He sent it to me right before the podcast. I haven't had a chance to take a look at it. Looking forward to it. And thank you for doing that too, Donatello, man. But yeah, man, such great support. I just keep running to all these great people here in crypto. It's really amazing.
I am so tickled with Mr. Green's excitement about everything. It's awesome to see him actually, getting excited about his own work and how he can contribute. And not saying I don't know anything about him before, but, like he said a little while ago, he said, I've never been more into a project before. And, that ARK has allowed him to be able to create past, maybe what his normal kind of stuff is just you can really see it and hear it in his voice.
Yeah, it's a huge change from when we met. It's like, think of someone that's just sitting there pumping gas, right? The next car comes, pump the gas. Okay, thank you. Here's your change. Next, and it's just the work of the day. But really, when the ARK pulled up for a refuel, he was like, okay, this is interesting. Okay, this is challenging. And I think that has a lot to do with it, that a lot of this stuff is cookie cutter. He does always his own fresh code. He has his own way of thinking. That's different to how everybody copy paste and all that. So, the guy's got a whole database of all of these type of contracts that he's done. So a client comes up, he's like, okay, you want that? Oh, I got a contract like that. I did another one like this. And here he was really faced with a very complex challenge. He never really seen like the whole ROI DAP, high yield. He's done miners and stuff like that for people. So there was a learning curve, and getting him focused, of course, and holding his hand to the process until he really started to understand and get it, and then get excited and understand that, this really has great potential, because a lot of these guys, they don't know who the customer is. A lot of times they even understand that some of those customers might not be the best people and they might not have the best intentions, but it's sort of that thing where they're just, hey, okay, we're going to go ahead and build this. What you do with it, it's like the guy who sells the firearms, right? He doesn't know what the customer is going to do with it. It could be good or it could be bad. And, to see the team, the passion that we have here. And also one thing that we've noticed is just to have him surrounded by these other superstars. That's also brought him a lot of, I think, satisfaction and, being surrounded by a team through the whole process, not just doing the contract, but really interacting. He's mentioned it several times that he just likes the environment and the whole thing. So it's almost like a freedom situation for him. He's like, man, I love this and innovating. I mean, just yesterday he was coming up with some great ideas, and we want to continue to always innovate and improve, create new products. Brett's got some stuff up his sleeve as well that's going to be coming. So yeah, I think it's a fantastic result of just having the patience to see things through and not giving up, right? So if you give up,
not
then
either. Like you said, with the patience.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, there was a couple of days, man. I was pulling my hair out, in the past, and being very frustrated without any question. Like, man, where can you find good, reliable people? And that happens in the real world too. If you have a business and you need to go out and hire and create a team around you, it is very challenging. Some people show up in front of you. Well, how many days off do I get? That's the first question that's coming out of their mouth. How much does it pay? How many hours? Can I sneak out the back 15 minutes early when you're not looking? And next, right? It's not easy, but in this space, I find even more difficult because a lot of the coders and these React people, they'll charge you, between 5 and 10 times what a coder would in the real world, like let's say a Python, JavaScript type of coder, because they know there's money in the crypto space, and teams can, if they do a good job, they can raise if they've been around and they know how to market and get themselves out there. So, they take on way too many clients, and they're just underperforming for everybody. So really, really, really difficult. And that's why, we're making sure to keep these guys, in-house here, focused and working with us, because there's a lot of work ahead. We don't want to lose them.
Plenty of work ahead. That's the great thing about this whole system. It's not just gonna. I can't think of his name earlier. The one that was going over his Medium article. He feels like it doesn't have to have anything else to work on its own, but when everybody gets to see what's coming, that's going to be huge for the protocol itself.
Absolutely. And then, also see if we can help other projects as well. Look how long it took to get these guys in here. I imagine there's a lot of folks that have great ideas and a passion, and they want to do something in the space, and they need reliable folks. That's something that we also want to offer and bring that profit back here to all the investors. So, that, ICL as well as, ILC, as well as the mobile app, we could see that also being something that a lot of other folks would want to be able to tap into. And, once we have that proven model, I think we're going to have some people banging on the door. Hey, can you guys help us out? So if there's time, we'll be happy to help them. Does anybody have any questions or comments? All right. Well, we're going on 3 hours and 20 minutes for tonight's podcast. Another long one. Yesterday was four hours. But guys, no better place to be than with all of you learning and sharing and getting ourselves ready for this fantastic journey ahead. Big day Friday. And a great day today with the James Pelton AMA SK CryptoK's amazing drop of the ARK video. And yeah, we're seeing everything just go really, really well here on the back end. And Udaman with his gold legacy NFT. Congratulations, sir. And you guys are awesome. Thank you for being a part of ARK. With that said, we'll be back tomorrow at the same time, 6 p.m. EST, 11 p.m. UTC. And don't forget, guys, we still got the YouTube video contest, a Medium article contest. Thank you for participating tonight. And for those of you folks that are listening at a later time, as some of you are sleeping right now, thank you for coming and listening to the podcast. We hope that you found the updates and the conversation helpful, educational, and that you continue to be here with us. Thank you. Good night.